This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. It's Tuesday night. This is our typical night to be talking to Ben Stowe. Well, if you kind of follow Ben Stowe, he is in the Burnsville area tonight, not Bloomington area, well, kind of Bloomington area, in Minneapolis. They're doing the Lighting Symposium tonight. So Ben is tied up and he can't be part of our show tonight. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to cover a couple of quick things and then we'll wrap things up here tonight. We had a couple of questions come in, specifically talking about DMX controllers. Of course, not the really high-end stuff, because the high-end stuff can be really intimidating. I mean, I've even got an old DMX an 8 channel. I mean, it's so old that the knobs have gone and we just haven't found them. But things like this, can these be useful? What can they do for a guy? So what I wanted to show you is actually what I did this past weekend. Now, this past weekend I got the chance to play with the ADJ event bar, the Q4. And if you've checked out the event bar, it's 4 moving heads that pan and tilt and turn and all these different things. It has RGB, and then I think it is white, I believe. Slow down. Yeah, white. White's our fourth one. So it has the 4-color, the quad LED going on in there. Very bright, very cool little thing. But I wanted to have control over it, and I haven't gotten to the point of having the computer. If you've done a computer software, whether there's lots of them out there, but if you're doing one of those, yay! This video wouldn't be for you tonight. That would be one of the other videos that Ben's going to do. But what I did is I actually I had a Wi-Fi, this is an ADJ Wi-Fi controller, but you can see it's basically a 4-channel DMX board. It can do more channels where you can pop over and it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can go to 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it can control more than just 4 channels, but really you're only having access to 4 different channels at the same time. So you've got the channel 1 that can send out a digital signal to fixtures. This would be if channel 1 coincides in this particular case to the event bar. It's using channel 1 and channel 2. I've set that up as a 2-channel fixture. So channel 1 is controlling the different scenes, the different shows, and channel 2 is a speed control and can do its little thing. But anyway, now this particular it can also be used really pretty much anything that any light. Well, let's say this particular light can go up to 37 DMX channels. And I can set that in the menu. I can click through, go to how many channels I want it to be able to use. And again, in this case it's 2, but I can go all the way up to 37. Well, this could still do, power 4 channels. So if I had that set to 37, I would only be able to do the first 4 things. And I'm not even sure where I put the information on that here. It's somewhere here. But anyway, so whatever the first 4 channels were, it's all it could do. So all the other 33, it wouldn't be able to touch unless we could switch it. So obviously this would be a great combination with doing the full capability. But for my purpose of having a quick controller that could just basically allow me to pick a scene, and then I could speed it up a little bit if I wanted to and do some things with it, it worked very, very well. Now I've done variations of the 8-channel. I've got a couple of these, and this is one I just grabbed that was sitting here on the shelf. This is kind of our backup to the backup. Where I've had, in this particular case, say I'd put the event bar in 2 channels, and then I would have maybe some LED floods that would maybe take 2 channels with changing color and speed. That happens. Maybe one of my fixtures is like a spotlight that's only 1. So then I can put the spotlight, and I can go through, and as long as I'm setting my address right, so in this particular case, yeah, this would take 2. So these 2 are tied up, so then my next light would have to be address 3. And it took 2, so then it takes those 2. Then my next light would have to be address 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it would take the 1. Now I'm up to address 6, and let's say that took the next 3. So in this particular case, if I had that type of lights where I had a 2-channel, a 2-channel, a 1-channel, and 3-channel, I could literally control 4 different fixtures from this simple controller. Now it's not going to be super fine control. I mean, it's in this particular case, I'm picking patterns. If I would have one that has a digital readout, such as this one does have a digital readout, then I can be more precise because they give you ranges on the books of what the shows are and what the shows do. Let me give you an example here. We'll just pop to the back here. Whereas I've got the Wi-Fi bar here. But as an example, on when it's set up to an 8-channel mode, this is for the Wi-Fi bar RGBA. And that particular one, if you're in channel 8, you can choose, it'll go, if you're at DMX value 100 to 112, you're going to be doing program 9. So on that board, I would slide the slider up to I'm at, somewhere between 103 and 111, and I would be accessing program 9 at any digital output in that range. And then if I go past 112 to 113, I go to program 10. That's pretty much how they work. So in this particular case, I don't have a digital readout, so I'm kind of, it's kind of just working my way through it and finding a spot. And truthfully, if I were going to use this with that all the time, I would probably go and take some liquid paper and put a little dot at a couple of them I really like. But for the quick and easy, this guy worked. Now, of course, because this is the Wi-Fi controller, it can do some wireless things so that if I'm not doing this, I can use this to control some wireless lights and be able to do a similar functionality. I can use it to control basically any quad LED light, an RGB, A, or W. It really wouldn't matter. I can control them and make them chase and do some things. But for now, we're not talking about that side of it. Just something that's fairly inexpensive and can control that. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but behind I have a sweeper beam. This is the ADJ sweeper beam LED. Now, this isn't the quad version. They have a quad version, and then, of course, the sweeper beam itself. It's the white one. Now, my preference, I like the white one, actually. And what's neat about it is it can be set to a single channel. It can do multiple channels, DMX channels, but it can go to a single one. So now, my little 4, I've got that's doing, and then I can go to the back, and channel 3 on my board is set to run the sweeper beam. You can see the sweeper beams, it's sound active, but I can switch the different programs it's doing while it's sound active back there. And I have, in essence, complete or fairly complete control to turn them on and turn them off from such a simple little controller. So if you're just getting into DMX, the thing I would look for when you're going and checking out lights is to go, find out how many DMX channels they can handle. Then they can range anywhere from 1 up to, some of those, like this guy's 37. It can be a lot. But you want to find some that, can be some of the lower numbers. And then you also need to find some that have programs, some built-in shows. Now that you may have to go to the manuals to find, because they'll print the manuals or have the PDFs of the manuals on the light fixtures. It could be a cool light that doesn't have any shows built in, which isn't a deal breaker, but then you for surely have to go and do some programming with some software. Now, if you're into the software side of it and you're good with that, that's the way to go. To get full capability and to really create the coolest light shows, you go software and you can create that. I mean, you can do it with the boards and save scenes, with even the old guy here, but it's a lot of work. So if you want to get the most out of your lights, you go that way. If you want to get some cool lights that you can basically control a little bit and do some fun things with, you can go, find like the event bar. It has built-in shows. I can go to a 2-channel mode. I can access the different shows. I can adjust the speed, which of course for myself is huge. I love the ability to access speed. So for slow dances, I can have the dots just kind of slowly going around the room. If I want to excite go a little bit, oops, there we go. If I want to go a little bit more, I can, whatever. I like that capability a lot. And of course, I'm not a huge one that has to have all my lights doing their, all red at the same time and all sweeping at the same time. They can be a little variety. I would, in my particular case, the event bars, having 2 of them and having them synced together, but controlled with the controller like this, I'm good with that. The sweeper in the back, I'd like to have a little bit more control over it because I'm not a huge fan of that. But for this demonstration purpose, that's how we set it up. The controller I've got in my system that's in the truck right behind where you're at now, because we're actually in my the DJ end of the warehouse. That is a 16-channel board, and then I can set the sweeper beam up to a higher DMX level so I can have more control over it. And that's, if you watch one of our videos we did a few weeks ago, we talked about that. It should be on there somewhere. I think that Jeremy Lambie and I did that. We had it set up, I think, to a 6-channel, if I'm not mistaken, and it worked very well. So yeah, that's it. So the DMX world, some of the simple ones can do quite a bit. Again, that's a lot on your lights and what their capability is. We've had some moving heads into the office here that didn't have any shows built into it. So literally, it was hook them up, and it was like light to the right, light to the left, light up, light down, bright, dim. And that was it. So in order to really run the light for a show without programming, it would have been like back and forth all night long, and it would have been a flashback to my early DJ days when we had this old box that had literally light switches on, the kind of wall light switches that you have, that type of switches. We had 8 switches, and it was flood on, flood off, flood on, flood off, that kind of a thing all night long. It had flashbacks to that, and that wouldn't be cool. So that's some simple DMX stuff.
Hey, John, it's Bill Herman with Jeremy over here. You know Jeremy Breck, right? And then over here we got Jason Jones, and we just got done with the first day of the Lighting Symposium here in Minneapolis, and we stopped by this Chuck E. Cheese to have some pizza and play some video games. And we thought we'd just say that's why Ben Stowe didn't have Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe, because Ben Stowe apparently wanted to frighten up. Oh, hello. My sister's here. Say hello.
This is
Say hello,
awesome.
sister.
The best server.
My sister.
You're on TV.
I feel so happy. I'm meeting so many people.
I know.
Really
it's
is
amazing.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's really nice. She's the best. She's gonna. Earlier she was in a Chuck E.
Speechless.
Cheese outfit.
She's the best server at Chuck E. Cheese, like ever.
So anyway, we were at this Lighting Symposium. We thought we'd decompress over here over some pizza and juice boxes, and and so here's the deal. One thing I didn't figure out until today. Ben Stowe speaks mostly in Chinese. I have no idea what he said.
Even though it's English.
I'm completely lost. Okay? I'm sure he's a very smart human being. And I will be punished for what I just said by some, overlord from Star Wars. It's been a great symposium so far. I am the dumbest one in the class. What did you think, Jeremy?
I think we should talk to Jason first.
Well, I think a lot is possible if you know how to do lots of stuff. And though the software looks pretty user friendly. Tilt it down.
Sorry.
Although the software is pretty user friendly, I can see lots of possibilities if only I take the time to learn the software and kill that inchworm. That's my thoughts.
What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, what do I think? I think Ben Stowe is a very brilliant individual.
Me too.
is
He'll hurt me. I'm afraid of his. I'm afraid of his technological. He could sneak into my house someday. So yes, I think he's brilliant.
Ben Stowe could build the Death Star.
He has, in fact, and he's making us learn it. Anyway, you tell him more.
Lighting Symposium Day 1, it had a lot of great information. There's a lot of very technical information as well. Not saying that wasn't great.
No,
But-
there's no technical information.
So, as Ben speaks, very knowledgeable, very informative, sometimes too informative, and goes into a lot of great detail. Anywhere from the wire structure to how do you use your lighting correctly to make sure that it is longevity going to last by using the right equipment. So. Ben had a lot of great things. The gentleman from Roscoe was very informative.
Oh, he was great. He was great. He spoke it like a 10-year-old, so I can understand that. He was great.
He talked about colors.
Colors were pretty.
So some of the things that he talked about was gobo layering, textures, things like that. So it was very. I think what the lighting designers are looking for is very, very great information. Had a lot of things to take away from that. We got a chance to look at some of the different sponsors, which was Eternal, Showbay DJ, and Blizzard. Blizzard did their 1 hour.
And NLFX was there too.
And LFX was there as well, yeah.
Ben's company was represented. Once again, I want to be sure Ben knows I love him, so he doesn't sneak into my house with some kind of NSA spy stuff.
Now, who
I'm
owns
afraid of him.
Who owns NLFX again? Who is that?
That's Ben.
Oh, right, Ben. He's awesome.
So this is how much I learned. In a few minutes.
That's number 4.
In a few minutes, I'm going to be the smartest man in the room.
Which means we'll be getting kicked out in about an hour.
Which will be bedtime. It'll be
And
perfect.
hey,
Yeah.
I give Ben a lot of crap. I'm always going to give Ben a lot of crap. But I tell you something. It is a great symposium. He cares a great deal for what he's trying to do with everybody. He knows more than any other human being I've ever met in my life. And I think he just might have tried to fill it in to this small, tiny brain. That's sad by itself. But more than likely, it's gone from this size to that size because of Ben Stowe. And I am going to be a lighting animal because of him.
You know, Bill's got a great point. Ben's very passionate about what he does, and he loves teaching people the knowledge that he has. Obviously, yes, he has a lot of knowledge, and sometimes it's way over our heads. But again, always very informative. And if you ever have questions, Ben is definitely the person to go to when you have a question. So, good
By
stuff.
the time I'm done, I will know how to make a lightsaber. Thank you, Ben Stowe. So anyway, that's our report from day one. We can certainly report again tomorrow, but probably not because we don't really like John that much. So that's it from the Chuck E. Cheese in Bloomington.
Hold on. What else would you like to know, John? What else can we answer for you?
That's it?
Good.
That's all? Oh, he wants us to wrap up.
Well,
I think
great.
he's getting tired of this.
Well, thanks a lot. So from Chuck E. Cheese, have a great night. We love you, everyone.
We'll raise our juice boxes to you.
Woo, cheers.
Have a great night.
Well, that's our show for tonight. This week, tomorrow night, we're going to be doing some talking about more lighting. I'm going to be having a guest. We're trying to work on one guest if I can get him to come in tomorrow night. We're hoping. So Wednesday night will be our lighting chat, our weekly lighting check. Thursday is Mobile Music Thursday. Jason Jones has got a really cool guest. You're going to want to catch that. These will both be on DJNTV.com. Check them out. I think they're airing about 9 or 9:30. But you go to DJNTV.com. You'll see our schedule right up at the top. And then the video goes live in that top video box. Again, DJNTV.com. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube, check out all of our videos. We have over 800 videos out there for you to check out. That's youtube.com/discjockeynews. Lots of great information out there. Some of it actually makes some sense. So check that out. And we will hope to see you then tomorrow night with Lighting Chat Wednesday night. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV.